Welcome back to Album Reviews and Discussions. This is going to be a new series that I'm going to be starting on this channel where I will be reviewing albums and also talking about the stories of each albums, or if it's not a concept album, I will be talking about the meaning of each song and pretty much just what it's about, just in its entirety. And the album that we are going to be reviewing and talking about for today is going to be called Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. This is, I think, one of his best albums. It's got some of his best and most creative songs in his entire discography. And some of his most popular songs come from this album, like See You Again, Who Dat Boy, and a lot more. And I think this album, in my opinion, I don't think it's better than Igor, but I do think it's in his top 3, at least for me. But without further ado, this is Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel, if you want to, of course, because you subscribing really helps motivate me to make more videos. Forward is the first song on Flower Boy, and it's a very interesting beat because it starts off with a metronome and then adds this really soothing guitar and bass, and just like it keeps like adding to it, and I think that makes this like a really good opening. And also the lyrics of the song also like ask several questions. Like Tyler's asking a lot of questions on this song. Like he's asking just a lot of things, and y'all can go look at the lyrics and follow with me if y'all need to. But I just really think that this song has like an interesting start to this album because of its beat and the way that it presents itself, especially. And then when the synths or the strings come in at the second half, it gets way better for me. It adds this really like, not like haunting, well, it's kind of like haunting, but in like a good way. Like it gives you that like mystical like feeling that like this is gonna be a great album. And the singers that are singing during this part, their lyrics and the way that they're singing is just amazing for this opening. And I think just overall, this song is just a great opening to Flower Boy in general. Where the Flower Blooms is an amazing song. That's all I can really say about it. The Frank Ocean feature is absolutely deserved on this project. The strings and mainly just the production overall on Where the Flower Blooms is like so good. Like I can't even say much about it. But personally, I think it's one of the best on this album. But I don't think it's like absolute top tier, like number 1 on the album. But it is like one of the best on this album, at least in my opinion. I think that everyone should mainly just go check this entire album out, because I bet that you will all like it. It's like rap and R&B style. I think it's just a great project overall. And this song especially, Tyler puts a lot of effort into the production and his vocals and the background vocals and everything, mainly just on this song. And I think it all comes together greatly in just this small couple of minutes. And with the Frank Ocean feature, it all just ties into just this perfect song. See You Again was a really great song on this album when I listened to it for the first time. I've heard it, well, before listening to Flower Boy, I had previously heard the song several times, and I was like, wow, that song actually sounds really good. Like, I think this guy does like pop stuff. I think he's like really good at it. And then I checked out most of his stuff and I was like, oh, it's not just pop stuff. He does other stuff. And I was like, this is really good. This is some really good music right here. Yeah. So, See You Again has great production. I love the xylophone in the background. I love the bass and just the drums and mainly just the chords and the synths and the strings and all that cool stuff. And I also love the feature from Kali Uchis. She did a great job singing on this song. I think she had some amazing vocals on this, and same with Tyler. His rap and his singing on this song were also really good, and I just want to congratulate them both for making an amazing song, especially during this, the 2017 era. I don't think people realize that we will never get music like that probably ever again, unless Tyler does make it again, but we'll have to see. But that song, and mainly just this entire album, is really special to that period, and See You Again shows that perfectly with just the amazing production, background vocals, and mainly just everything. Who Dat Boy is one of the more darker songs on this album, I should say. It's not really dark, but it's more of Cherry Bomb Death Camp type energy songs. But this one has dark strings, dark compositions, and mainly just a dark story about it. 'Cause at least in the music video, the story is that Tyler gets his face ruined, so he goes over to this man's house to get his face fixed, but then as he gets his face fixed, the police arrive at that person's door and then they chase them down. I think it's a very nice story, and the instrumental and the track and just the music in general kind of fits that story. And as well with the feature from A$AP Rocky, that also fits the story because he fits in perfectly. And mainly just all of the elements of the song just add together just really well, and I think it all works perfectly to make a dark song. And yeah, I think it just all fits perfectly. And at the end of the Who Dat Boy music video, he drives away in a car with this random boy as they're getting chased by the police, and then it cuts to a snippet from another one of the songs, because I think, from what I'm guessing, this was one of the lead singles of the album, so I'm guessing it just came with a snippet at the end. I think that Tyler should do that more, where he posts a full song and then he has a snippet of another song at the end of it. I think that's a great idea. What happened to that? But yeah, that's my thoughts on Who Dat Boy. Pothole is one of the many songs where Tyler is just straight rapping for the entire song. If you guys have listened to Chromacopia, then this song is kind of like Hey Jane. Pothole was a really interesting song, but with the difference between Pothole and Hey Jane is that Pothole has a singing chorus sung by someone else, and that adds a lot to this song, because I think Pothole is actually a really good rap from Tyler, and I think it's honestly just a really good rap overall. The beat and the vocals, and especially the chorus from the singing person, like I mentioned a second ago, are all phenomenal and perfect, at least in my opinion. I think Pothole is one... I wouldn't say it's the best song, or I wouldn't say it's one of the best, but I would say it's probably somewhere in the middle in terms of the album's ranking of songs. Garden Shed is the song right after Pothole, and Garden Shed's a really good song. The instrumental has this really just smooth jazz, kind of neo-soul vibe to it. And it's great for the song topic that he's talking about. And I can't really explain the topic of the song, but if y'all want to go research that for yourself, you can go do that. the instruments on this song come together greatly with the guitar, and especially from the Estelle feature and her background vocals in this song. They do really well, especially on Garden Shed, and even like Tyler's rap at the end about the previously mentioned song topic it's also pretty good. Like, this entire song, like, when I first thought of it, like, at first I was like, oh, I think this is just like an instrumental, but then I listened to it again and I was like, oh no, it's not an instrumental, like, it's an actual song. But yeah, Garden Shed is a really just chill, kind of smooth type jazz song. I do think that Estelle did a very good job featuring on the song, and Tyler's rap was amazing at the end, and the guitars throughout this song just come together greatly. Boredom is, at least in my opinion, either my second favorite or most favorite song on this album, because I think just it's like one of his best songs. You can fight me in the comments, but I think it's one of his best songs. So the guitars just come together greatly on this one. The background vocals, the singers, especially the lead singer on this, he does a great job. Tyler's rap, when it gets to the rap part, is also pretty good. I think everyone has like a lot of energy into this one, and also with some of Tyler's recent tours, he's done it, and I just think that since, like, I don't know what to say about it, because it's like such a good song that like it's almost kind of speechless, but it is, in my opinion, one of the best songs on this album. I don't think in his entire discography, but it would probably place in maybe top 20 in his most songs, but probably not top 10. I need to go back through some of his songs, but it might be in top 10. But yeah, Boredom is just a really good track overall, and I think including the instrumental, the track, the background singers, the lead singer, and Tyler, I think all do great on this track. Ain't Got Time is a really just hype and energetic song that I always enjoy listening to whenever I listen to this album. Like, it gives me, like, Chromacopia vibes now since Chromacopia's out, but Ain't Got Time is just really good. I love the message of this song. I love the vocals. I love the trumpets and mainly just the drums and all of that part in this song, because it all comes together to make a really hype song. And I saw a video of Tyler actually performing the song live, and he had a lot of energy in that, and that was like, oh, that's how energetic this song is, like, and that's when it clicked that this song was probably something special to him and something very energetic. I just really like this overall. I think it's perfect, and I think people should go check out this song too, because I think it's giving like Sticky and Thought I Was Dead vibes, at least for me, because like it's really good. "911 Mr. Lonely" is a very like kind of like chill, lo-fi, hip-hop kind of song, and I just love it. Like, I would say it's up there as my favorite song on the album, but it's also kind of conflicting with Boredom because they're both kind of on the same level. I think 911 Mr. Lonely is a really good, both parts. First of all, 911 because the song is basically two songs stitched together. Now, 911 is the chill, lo-fi, hip-hop thing I was talking about. The singing in this one, and also the rapping and background vocals, chords, synths, drums, all that stuff on this make an absolutely amazing first half of this song. And then it switches over to Mr. Lonely, which is, I think, kind of like, if y'all have ever heard Call Me If You Get Lost, the estate sale, then it's kind of like Dogtooth, at least in my opinion, because Mr. Lonely has some really good bars and has an amazing beat and amazing lyrics from Tyler, definitely. I just think that with both of those parts coming into one song, I think it all comes together so great. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just comes so great into one song. Both halves are amazing, and the production is overall great on both of them. So, yeah, the song has just great production and all of that. For this part, I'm going to be talking about 2 songs in one section because Dropping Seeds is only a minute long and I don't feel like making a whole new section for a 1-minute song. That's also why I skipped Sometimes before See You Again, because that was just a short track and it was mainly just dialogue, so I didn't have much to talk about anyway. So now let's get onto the review. So, Dropping Seeds is a very nice song. Even though it's like only a minute long, it has a lot of good bars. Lil Wayne's feature and lyrics on this are also really, really good. I see a lot of people, just like whenever he hops on a Tyler track, he mainly does a great job. At least that's what I hear other people say. And Tyler's part at the end is also pretty good. And just mainly, I think just Lil Wayne and Tyler's collaboration skills are also just really good in general, especially with Sticky on Chromacopia and a bunch of other songs that Lil Wayne has been on. And now we're gonna cut over to November, which the opening is an absolute banger. I constantly listening to the opening of November, and then the rap part that it transitions to with Tyler, it's also really good. I think just the beginning and the middle are just perfect. And then near the end, Tyler, I think he sampled a bunch of people saying what their best November was, and I think that was a great addition to the song and also to the album in general. I think it fits it perfectly. And then the production, just the instruments and the vocals and everything on this track is mainly just really good. Just overall, I think Tyler doesn't disappoint with production on anything, or like most of his recent stuff. I don't think he disappoints. Like, I think he does a really good job with this entire thing. The second to last song is titled Glitter, and I think Glitter is a very nice and just chill song. I think it's got some very just good of mainly everything. The opening has a great transition from November. I think Tyler's high-pitched voice for this absolutely works wonders for this track. I think he put a lot of effort into Glitter. The production and the lyrics and the background vocals and the drums just hit different on this song. And I could tell that he put like a lot of effort into this track specifically, because in an interview that he had with someone, he was talking about how he wanted like a feature from a big artist. Like, I don't know what artist it is. I think it might have been Justin Bieber, but I don't know for sure. But he was talking about how he made this beat for him and then how he used the beat for Flower Boy. And honestly, I'm glad that he used the beat for Flower Boy because he did awesome on this track. This track was absolutely amazing, and the production, the guitars, the drums, the bass, just everything on this song, including Tyler's vocals, especially the high-pitched ones, and his raps. Just this song just has a lot of effort put into it. I think it's got just great everything. And I know I've said that about a lot of these songs on here, but it's true because like a lot of them have great production, just mainly. And Glitter is a very nice song on this album. I would say it's probably top 5 for this album, definitely. It's one that I go back and visit a lot, and it's very enjoyable to go back and visit it. Enjoy Right Now Today is the final song on Flower Boy, and it's a pretty good banger. And it's a pretty good ending to this album too. I love like the war-inspired drums, and if you listen to Igor, then you can kind of hear those drums on Gone Gone Thank You, which is my favorite track off of Igor for those who have watched my Igor video. And Enjoy Right Now has some really good compositions. The bass and the guitars in this, and especially the samples and all of that stuff, just come to make a really calming but energetic ending to such an amazing album. And even though it is mainly an instrumental for most of it, I think it's a very well composed instrumental, and I think Tyler did an absolute great job composing this. And yeah, I just think he did an overall great job on this song. I still listen to it, even though it's an instrumental. I think it's a banger. And now we have reached the end of the video. So, Flower Boy was honestly an amazing and perfect album. Every song on this album is a banger from start to finish. Every song sounds great, has great production, great features too. Just everything on this album is great. Even though some people might not agree with me on some songs, I think they're all great and they fit the story and themes that Flower Boy gets across really well. Who Dat Boy and Ain't Got Time, even though there's some of like the more darker and like more like darker energy type songs, they're still great. I think every song on this record is great from start to finish. All the features, the story, the sounds, the production, the drums, just everything on this album. And I know I keep saying this a lot, but it's perfect. Like, you can't really top Flower Boy. I mean, Igor can top Flower Boy, but I don't think anything else in Tyler's discography, at least for me, can match to Flower Boy besides Igor. And I also think that Flower Boy is such a vulnerable album too, because Tyler like talks about a lot of vulnerable stuff on this album, which previously in most of his other albums, at least from what I could see, he didn't really talk about, besides like his father and some other stuff like that. But Tyler does a really great job rapping and explaining like his vulnerable side on this album, and I think it comes together greatly to form this really neat and cool 14 to maybe 15 song project. I forgot how many tracks there are, but there are probably 14 or 15. But it comes together so well that this little project has become probably my second or third. I haven't really decided on where Chromacopia goes yet, but this is either my second or my third favorite album, and it's just really good. I think the production, the vocals, the features, I think just everything comes together really well. I think See You Again, even though it's the most popular song, I don't think it's the best song on here, but I will admit it is a really good song. Personally, I would either pick Boredom or 911 Mr. Lonely as my favorite song, and I think there are a lot of just really nice songs on this album. A lot of good everything. This album is just perfect. I think it's a really good project. And that concludes this video. And this was Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator.